What is the most recent information regarding Kelly Ripa's podcast? Her show is a huge hit with viewers of the Live with Kelly and Mark hosting. But will it ever return? Kelly Ripa recently provided an update on the well-liked program. Will Kelly's Let's Talk Off Camera return with fresh episodes? Or has Kelly stepped away from podcasting for the present? Check out what she said. What about Kelly Ripa's podcast? She is thrilled about her next ventures. Many Lev fans today find it impossible to imagine the program without Kelly Ripa. In 2001, she began appearing on the well-known daytime talk show. She has interviewed a number of fascinating guests and had numerous co-hosts throughout the years. However, it appears that her stint on the show may be coming to an end after 23 years. Kelly has hinted recently that she is becoming more and more interested in retiring. She acknowledged that retirement was a major concern for her in an interview with Purist last summer. The Hope and Faith actress revealed, "I think the reason I stayed with the same job for so long is probably the risk-averse quality I have. Even though there are other offers, I prefer to stay with what I know. You will have me for life because I am very steadfast in everything I do. That being said, I don't plan to spend the rest of my life at this position. I do discuss retiring with a lot of enthusiasm, but for now, I'm content, especially with Mark." What will she do with her time if she exits Live with Kelly and Mark? Even though Kelly Ripa is 53 years old, she still has a lot of initiatives planned for the future. She started her own podcast in the spring of 2022. For Kelly's fans, there's even better news. The podcast will continue. Actor Sam Rockwell was interviewed by Kelly on a recent edition of Live. However, it naturally came up as well because she recently did a podcast interview with Leslie Bibb, Rockwell's partner. Now, yesterday I did a podcast interview with his beloved Leslie Bibb. Season 2 will be out soon, Kelly informed her audience. Actually, you can listen to the most recent Let's Talk Off Camera with Kelly episodes right now. On January 31, 2024, the most recent episode with Holly Robinson Peete was shown. Who will take the place of the season hostess if she departs? An icon of daytime talk shows is Kelly Ripa. But who would be a suitable substitute if she were to leave? As previously mentioned by TV show's ace, Bill Klein of TLC might be interested in taking over the position. However, it appears like Kelly is happy to continue hosting both her podcast and talk show for the time being. Are you thrilled that new episodes of Kelly Ripa's podcast will be released soon? How do you feel about her show thus far? Kelly Ripa is not one to shy away from honesty, and when it comes to the future of her podcast, she proved once again that transparency is her greatest strength. After weeks of questions, rumors, and uncertainty, the longtime host of Live finally broke her silence and gave fans the update they had been waiting for. It was an answer that surprised some, relieved others, and showcased exactly why Kelly remains one of daytime TV's most enduring personalities. For months, speculation had been floating around in online communities about what might be happening behind the scenes with Ripa's podcast. Let's Talk Off Camera. The show launched with high expectations, drawing in audiences eager to hear Kelly in a more relaxed, open environment. The format allowed her to explore topics she often couldn't fit into the tightly timed structure of morning television. But viewers of Live began noticing she hadn't spoken about new episodes in a while. Social media users wondered if the project had quietly been paused. Kelly finally addressed those questions during a recent segment in which she chatted casually with her audience about her current workload. With her signature charm, she acknowledged the speculation about the podcast and offered a candid explanation for what has been going on behind the scenes. According to Kelly, the podcast's future isn't fading away, nor is it ending. Instead, she revealed that the team behind it has been working on a major restructure designed to improve the show's long-term direction. She admitted that juggling several projects at once played a role in the podcast's temporary slowdown. Between hosting Live, running a production company with her husband Mark Consuelos, managing family responsibilities, and participating in various outside ventures, she confessed that her time had become stretched thin. Rather than release episodes that felt rushed or incomplete, the team decided to pause and recalibrate. Kelly emphasized that she cares deeply about quality, and she wants each episode to offer something meaningful. Her update didn't just stop at explaining the delay. Kelly went on to share what fans can expect moving forward. She hinted that the podcast's new direction would involve deeper conversations, more prominent guests, and a refined production style that gives the show a distinct identity separate from her morning television persona. She described the relaunch as an opportunity to rebuild the show into something even stronger, and she said the new version will feel more intentional, more personal, and more creatively fulfilling. Kelly's honesty struck a chord with fans because it reminded them that even celebrities must navigate the same pressures of overcommitment. She openly acknowledged that she had reached a point where she felt scattered across too many responsibilities. Taking a step back, she said, was not a sign of quitting but a crucial moment of reflection. It allowed her to ask herself what she wanted the podcast to represent and how she could make it sustainable. In the world of celebrity podcasts, where new shows launch every week and competition for attention is fierce, her decision to reorganize rather than rush content may prove to be a wise one. The podcast landscape has shifted dramatically in recent years. Audiences crave authenticity, depth, and consistency. Kelly appears well aware of this shift and wants her show to adapt to those evolving expectations. Instead of simply recording conversations for the sake of staying visible, she wants the podcast to serve a real purpose. Some insiders believe that her growing interest in long-form storytelling played an important role in the overhaul. Kelly is known for her quick wit and conversational ease, qualities that make her a natural fit for podcasting. But she has also expressed a desire to dive deeper into topics she is passionate about, such as wellness, relationships, career balance, and the complexities of personal growth. The new structure may allow her to pursue those ideas more freely and bring in guests who can speak with vulnerability and depth. Although she did not provide an official return date, Kelly reassured viewers that the podcast is far from canceled. She explained that the break should be viewed as a reboot, not an ending. She hinted that episodes are already being planned and that some recordings may even be underway. But she stressed that she wants the relaunch to be done with care, not urgency. The reaction from the audience was overwhelmingly supportive. Many viewers applauded her for prioritizing quality over quantity. Others expressed relief knowing the show had not been scrapped. Some even commented that the delay had increased their anticipation, and they were excited to hear what the reimagined version would bring. It was clear that Kelly's connection with her fans remained strong and that her audience trusts her judgment. What makes this update particularly notable is the level of ownership Kelly took in explaining the situation. In an industry where canceled projects are often quietly buried, her willingness to address the rumors demonstrated respect for the listeners who invested time in the show. It also showed how much pride she takes in her work. Kelly's career has survived constant change, shifts in co-hosts, television trends, and cultural conversations. But she has remained adaptable, upbeat, and committed to moving forward with intention. She closed her update by encouraging her fans to stay tuned. She promised that the next chapter of the podcast will be worth the wait and hinted that it may surprise even longtime followers. Her excitement was unmistakable. Even though the relaunch is still in progress, Kelly's enthusiasm suggested that she feels creatively energized by the direction the team is pursuing. In the end, Kelly Ripa's update on her podcast's fate was more than a simple announcement. It was a reminder that thoughtful pauses are sometimes necessary, that reinvention can be valuable, and that success is not about producing content nonstop, but about producing content that matters. Her supporters now have clarity, and they have something to look forward to. The future of Let's Talk Off Camera remains bright, and when it returns, it seems poised to be better than ever.